Matron, take them away.
Okay guys, this is a very quick coffee with Scruff. And I'm going to have a coffee because I want to compose myself a little bit. Because we all know Scruffy likes a coffee. And it's really to address the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is the issues with the prop industry at the moment. Now, when you're watching social media, what you've got to remember with that, there's a lot of misinformation and knee-jerk reaction. And it normally comes from those that are clueless, don't know what's going on. And it's the type of person that'll add 2 and 2 together and get 6 because they add bits in just because it fits their narrative. Now, anybody who follows me knows I'm not a great fan of the prop industry. And I'm not a great fan of it for one reason. I think from a principle of I can turn little money into some money and then turn some money into big money is correct, because I've always been an advocate of draw your profits, put it into your own account and then grow your own account, and then from your own account put those profits into an investment account. Now if you watch my channel you see I've done that, and I do that because I'll show you what my Vanguard is that I've built up over the last sort of year and a bit. It's got quite a bit of money in it, and it's been doing it from that exact process. Now the prop industry falls down in its marketing, and it's one of the reasons I don't like it. I don't like the idea of saying you're going to be managing a £100,000 account, you're going to manage a £1 million account, because you are not. You are always managing a drawdown account. The big side of it is just buying power. No different than putting your money into a BlackBull account, which is currently one of the few that can offer you 500-to-1 leverage, and then saying the leverage amount is your account. It's not. It's just what you've got it in the account. So as long as you're along them lines, the prop industry is fantastic because you'll control it. But it's sold that you're trading £300,000 account, a million account, whatever it happens to be. You oversize, you blow up, and then you cry saying the industry is against you. It's not. It's just you not managing you. Now all of these cries has led to voices being heard, and those voices have been heard by regulators. Now this started a little while ago with my Forex funds when they suspended taking any people on. They also didn't pay out on their promises, and this was another thing that was crying. There's a lot of cowboy companies out there, and I do implore that you do a little bit of homework before you deal with any company, because anybody can open up a prop firm. They genuinely can. They can open up a white label, in they go, and take your money and then bugger off. And a lot of that happened as well. So this sort of filters down into meta-quotes and various trading platforms and payment platforms, making knee-jerk reaction because regulators are now asking questions, and they rightly should. The industry is a mess. But just like any other industry, there are shining lights. You take the building industry, you're going to have good builders, you're going to have bad builders, but everybody seems to think that all builders are rogue, cowboy builders. They're not. It's just the minority spoil it for the majority. Principles happening here, but the companies have to address what's going on. Now I'm going to show you something. It's kind of private, but it doesn't have any contact details on, but you can see it. I spoke with the 5%ers yesterday when they decided that they weren't going to be taking on any further US clients, and asked them why. Let me just show you. Just flick that onto there and pull this in. Okay. The reason I'm showing you this is very simple. I wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth, what's going on. A lot of guys are worried about not taking on US clients, and I wanted a head up, and I want to speak from knowledge rather than rumors. So Tomer and Alex, you all know Alex, he's sort of one of the top guys in the 5%, as is Tomer. And we'll quickly read out their post that they've put. Due to recent events, we have made it the difficult decision to suspend onboarding US traders. They have to, because worst comes to the worst and they're told they can't have them full stop, you would leave a lot of clients high and dry. So it's the right decision to make. And the measure will remain in effect until they have an understanding of the legal implications for the US traders. Now, to me, that is fair. They have made a sensible decision, because if they started taking on clients knowing fine well that the rug can be pulled, that's not the measure of a good company. A good company will make the difficult decision and understand what they are about to do for their traders. Now, they understand it causes inconvenience. It does, but it's the safe. However, because of the regs, they have to be secure. And they're asking if they'll give them a couple of days. So I asked Toma what those couple of days were all about and what's going on. They need to read the legal documents. They need to understand what the legal situation is for the US and how they're going to move forward. Now, for anybody that's actually currently in the US or is affected by this, your money is safe. It's the one question I had, and that's what that voice conversation is underneath it. Anybody that is owed will be paid, because they should be. No funds will be wiped from the slate at this moment in time. And that's me putting my head on the block, because it's my reputation as well as theirs, because my name is in their website. If you go onto their video or on-demand video, which is for their members only, about how to trade, it is me that's there. So, yeah, when I listen to them, I trust them. Why? Because I've been out to dinner with them. I know these guys personally. And if they tell me something, I believe it. And that's the only reason I trade with them. Because when it comes to the prop industry, I'm not a fan of it. You hear me say it all the time in my videos. I'm not a fan of gambling. And that's a lot of what the prop industry is. Because it's promoted in such a way, you're going to have this 250k account. You're going to have this £1 million account. You are not. You are having a drawdown account. And what happens is, people think they have these big accounts. They size to the big account and blow up. And they blow up because the drawdown can't take it. This creates concerns because the self-same people are the ones that now complain that the company's against them and the world is against them. It's not. It's just you're no bloody good at the job and you haven't got the common sense to read between the lines. But we live in that sort of world. And I personally welcome the regulators. I genuinely do. Because it'll start cutting things down and it'll start keeping the marketing a little bit correct. I went through this a few years ago with ESMA. Everybody said the end of the world is coming. It's not. It's just the industry was growing. And in order to grow, there's growing pains and change. And that's what's happening now with the prop industry. The prop industry, if it's used correctly, is a wonderful thing to move you forward. Do I advocate using it as a living? Well, maybe not, because you never want to be beholden to one person. If you're in trading, you should be beholden to the person that's in front of you, looking at you from a mirror, yourself. And if you can control your own funds and your own broker, that is the way forward. Always has been. You can use prop as a vehicle to get those funds. Very, very simple. Now, for everybody that is affected by this, or even if you're just stuck, drop me an email. You'll get all my contact details in the comments. I'll leave them down there. Find my email, my WhatsApp, etc. If you have any questions and you don't feel like you're getting anywhere, do contact me and I'll ask those questions for you and I will get those answers for you. I think this is a serious situation. It's got a lot of people worried and a lot of people frightened. And will it end the industry? No, it won't. But will it make the industry better? Yes, it will. So when you're watching all the doom and gloom, which is always a good way to get views and feeds, etc. Take it with a pinch of salt. A lot of it they don't know. When you hear that the payment provider is pulling funds, they're not pulling funds. They're just protecting themselves if the regulators say they're not allowed to deal like this. When you hear MetaCourt saying they're going to pull platforms, etc., it's the same situation. They have to defend their own interests. And the prop industry, to a degree, are doing exactly the same thing. Now, we'll go down two routes. Some prop industry will just say, right, you're not allowed to do it anymore. That's it, end of it. You're going to get nothing. The fivers have assured that everybody involved that has money due will be paid. They can't be any fairer than that, guys. They genuinely can't. Because if the regulators say no, they have to abide by it. There's no way around it. So this one was very off the cuff. I'll dig more into this next week. I'll try and get somebody on the channel to speak about it. And we'll see if we can clarify it that little bit better. And hopefully we'll move forward together. But if you're stuck, I am genuinely easy found. And I will genuinely help you. I genuinely will. Let's see how it works out. But don't be too frightened just yet. If you think it's uncomfortable and they're being unfair, they're not. They're just trying to protect their own interests and yours. So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.